If you're under 65, living with a disability, and relying on Medicare or trying to qualify for it, there's something you absolutely need to hear. Most people think Medicare is only for seniors turning 65, but the truth is that millions of Americans under 65 depend on it every single day. The problem is that the rules for disabled individuals are completely different, often confusing, and almost never explained clearly. So if you've ever worried about when your coverage starts, what benefits you actually get, or how to protect yourself from penalties and gaps, stay with me. This conversation is going to make your life a lot easier. My name is Medicare Mentor, and I'm going to walk you through everything you should know about Medicare for people under 65 with disabilities. Whether you've recently become disabled, have been receiving Social Security disability insurance for years, or you're helping a loved one understand their options, this will give you a clear picture so you can avoid mistakes that could cost you money or leave you without the care you need. Let's start with the part nobody tells you. Most under 65 Medicare beneficiaries don't qualify right away, even after becoming disabled. That's because Medicare coverage only kicks in after you've received Social Security disability insurance for 24 months. This waiting period surprises a lot of people and leaves them wondering why their medical costs aren't covered, even though they're dealing with a serious health condition. The 24-month rule is automatic, but it doesn't mean you should sit back and wait. Understanding the timeline helps you plan ahead so you don't get caught off guard when your Medicare start date arrives. Now, there are exceptions to the waiting period, and these exceptions are extremely important. If you have amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as ALS, Medicare coverage begins the same month your Social Security disability benefits start. No waiting. And if you have end-stage renal disease requiring dialysis or a kidney transplant, your Medicare eligibility works under a completely different set of rules depending on your treatment plan. So if you or someone you know is dealing with these conditions, understanding your enrollment timing becomes even more critical. Once you qualify for Medicare under 65, many people assume the coverage works exactly the same as it does for seniors. But the truth is more complicated. Yes, you still get Part A hospital insurance and Part B medical insurance, but the costs, rules, and plan options can vary based on your disability status. Some states even limit access to certain Medigap plans for people under 65, which can make your out-of-pocket expenses higher than someone who ages into Medicare at 65. That's why so many disabled individuals end up choosing Medicare Advantage plans, not because they always want to, but because they often have fewer alternatives. I'll explain how to navigate that choice so you don't get locked into something that doesn't fit your long-term needs. Before we go deeper, here's something I want you to keep in mind. Medicare for disabled individuals is not just about coverage, it's about stability. When you're living with a disability, doctor visits, therapy, durable medical equipment, medications, and follow-up care aren't occasional. They're part of everyday life. Understanding how Medicare covers these services can protect your health and your finances. So take a moment, relax, and stay with me. This is information most people don't learn until it's too late. Let's talk about Part A and Part B costs because this is where many disabled beneficiaries feel the strain. Part A is usually premium-free as long as you or your spouse worked long enough under Social Security. But Part B always has a monthly premium, and that number changes every year. If you're disabled and living on a fixed income, any premium increase can feel overwhelming. What many people don't know is that you may qualify for programs that help pay your Part B premium, your deductibles, and even your prescription drug costs. These Medicare savings programs and extra help are life-changing for disabled individuals, but they're rarely talked about. One of the biggest challenges people under 65 face is finding affordable supplemental coverage. Let me explain why. Medigap plans, which help pay the costs that original Medicare doesn't cover, are guaranteed issue at age 65 during your open enrollment period. But if you're under 65 and disabled, many states don't require Medigap companies to sell you a plan. And in states where they do, the premiums can be 2 to 5 times higher than what a 65-year-old would pay. Imagine paying hundreds or even thousands more per year just because you happen to qualify early due to a disability. It doesn't feel fair, but it's the current reality. This is why Medicare Advantage becomes the go-to option for many disabled beneficiaries. Medicare Advantage offers lower monthly premiums, sometimes even zero premiums, and includes benefits that original Medicare does not cover, such as dental, vision, hearing, fitness programs, and transportation services. But there's a trade-off. Medicare Advantage plans use networks, require referrals in some cases, and may not include the specialist you rely on. And if you have ongoing treatments, it's essential to make sure that the plan you choose doesn't restrict the care you depend on. So if you're under 65 with a disability, you need to ask yourself a very honest question. Do you prefer predictable out-of-pocket costs with original Medicare, even if supplemental coverage options are difficult to find? Or do you prefer lower premiums with Medicare Advantage but with more rules and restrictions? There is no one-size-fits-all answer, and anyone who tells you otherwise is not being realistic. What matters is choosing the coverage that protects your health without leaving you vulnerable to unexpected medical bills. Now let's discuss something that confuses almost everyone. When you turn 65, everything changes again. Even if you've been on Medicare for years due to disability, you get a brand new open enrollment period when you hit 65. This is your chance to finally buy a Medigap plan with no medical questions asked, no underwriting, and no penalties. Many people don't realize this and miss the opportunity, locking themselves into restrictive plans simply because they didn't receive the right information at the right time. When you turn 65, you get the same rights and protections as anyone aging into Medicare for the first time. This one detail can save you thousands of dollars and give you the flexibility you may not have had before. Another area that's incredibly important for disabled individuals is Part D prescription drug coverage. If you take multiple medications or rely on high-cost drugs, choosing the wrong plan can drain your budget. Part D plans vary massively from one company to another, not just in premiums, but in formularies, copays, and whether your pharmacy is preferred or standard. And if you're living on disability income, you may qualify for extra help, which can reduce your prescription cost to just a few dollars per month. Many people think extra help is only for seniors, but it is absolutely available for disabled individuals under 65. I want to pause here and ask you something important. Has anyone ever taken the time to explain Medicare to you in a way that actually makes sense? If not, then take a second to subscribe to the channel. When you support Medicare Mentor, you're helping me bring clear, trustworthy Medicare education to people who truly need it. And trust me, the more you learn now, the easier your future decisions will be. Let's continue because there's a lot more you should know. If you are receiving Social Security disability insurance but decide to return to work, Medicare coverage does not end immediately. Many people worry that if they test their ability to work again, even part-time, they will lose their Medicare benefits overnight. That is not true. There is a trial work period, an extended eligibility period, and even continued Medicare coverage for individuals who medically improve but still need insurance protection. The goal is not to punish you for attempting to work. The goal is to support you while you see whether returning to work is realistic for your health and lifestyle. Next, we need to talk about durable medical equipment, because this is one of the biggest areas of confusion and frustration. If you rely on wheelchairs, walkers, oxygen supplies, CPAP machines, or other medical devices, you need to understand how Medicare processes claims. Original Medicare only covers equipment from suppliers who accept assignment. If they don't, you could be billed far more than you expect. And if you're in a Medicare Advantage plan, you must use the suppliers in your network. The last thing you want is a surprise bill for equipment that you depend on every day. Knowing your plan's rules before ordering anything is the key to avoiding these unexpected costs. I want to talk for a moment about something that affects many disabled individuals, and that's the emotional side of Medicare. Navigating a disability is already challenging. Adding complicated insurance rules on top of it can make you feel frustrated, overwhelmed, or even defeated. But I want you to remember something. Understanding your Medicare options is a form of control. Every detail you learn helps you make decisions that protect your independence, your quality of life, and your peace of mind. These choices matter, and you deserve to have the right information. Now let's look at a topic that surprises a lot of disabled beneficiaries: Medicare and long-term care. Medicare is designed to cover medical care, not custodial care. If you need help with bathing, dressing, eating, or daily living activities, Medicare does not cover these long-term care services. It covers skilled nursing only under specific short-term conditions. Many people under 65 with disabilities suddenly discover that their daily living assistance is not covered by Medicare, and this can create financial stress. Planning early, understanding Medicaid rules, and knowing your state's programs can make a huge difference. Another key point is rehabilitation therapy. If you need physical therapy, occupational therapy, or speech therapy, Medicare covers these services when they are medically necessary. But there are limits, evaluations, and documentation requirements. Sometimes disabled individuals are told that therapy is no longer helping them improve, but Medicare also covers maintenance therapy. This means therapy designed to maintain your current level of function and slow decline. Knowing your rights can keep you from losing access to services you rely on. Many disabled beneficiaries also wonder whether Medicare covers mental health services. Yes, it does. Part B covers therapy visits, counseling, and psychiatric care. Part A covers inpatient mental health care when needed. And Medicare Advantage plans often offer additional mental health resources. Living with a disability can take a toll on both your physical and emotional well-being, and mental health care is an essential part of your overall treatment plan. Another question that comes up frequently is whether Medicare covers home health services. The answer is yes, but the requirements are strict. You must be homebound, need skilled care, and receive services from a Medicare-approved agency. Home health is valuable because it can keep you safe, supported, and medically stable without needing to leave your home. If you've never explored this option, talk to your doctor about eligibility and documentation. Before we wrap up, I want to make something very clear. If you are under 65 and living with a disability, Medicare is not a secondary system or a backup plan. You deserve the same quality of care, the same protections, and the same access to information as anyone else. But you have to empower yourself with the knowledge to make smart decisions. No one is going to do it for you. If you found this explanation helpful and you want more guidance from someone who explains Medicare in a simple, trustworthy way, make sure you subscribe to Medicare Mentor. I'm here to help you understand your options with clarity, accuracy, and respect. When you know the rules, you can make choices that protect your health and your future. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking charge of your Medicare journey, and I'll see you in the next video.